I never expected a $4 digital product to change my family's finances. But somehow, this one digital product I designed while my kids were sleeping ended up making $13,756.86 on Etsy. And that's not even including the few thousand it made when I had my Shopify store. And the wild part is, I didn't post on social media. I didn't run ads. I didn't even really have a strategy. At the time, we were a one-income family. My husband was working nonstop. I was homeschooling with a baby on my hip, and everything felt tight. Time, money, energy, all of it. So when that first cha-ching hit my phone, I teared up. It wasn't just $4. It was proof that what I'd been doing all of this time was finally paying off. That tiny win has now snowballed into me making over $28,000 selling digital products on Etsy and having a mentorship program with over 1,000 members where I have helped so many of them make their very first sale on Etsy. Because when one digital product keeps selling, even when you're at the playground with your kids, it changes how you see money forever. So in this video, I want to take you behind the scenes, the product, the strategy, the mistakes, and why this specific listing took off when so many others didn't. By the end, you'll know exactly what made it blow up, and more importantly, how you can create your own best-selling product so you can make money while you're living your life. So here's how I came up with this idea. And it's crazy because I didn't come up with it after watching 38 YouTube videos about how to find a profitable niche. I came up with it by doing what a lot of tired moms do at the end of the day, scrolling TikTok, trying to turn my brain off for a few minutes. But my For You page had other plans. Every single video that popped up was about ADHD, ADHD cleaning routines, ADHD morning checklists, ADHD hacks. And this was my first time realizing how many people were affected by ADHD as adults. Then I saw a video that completely stopped me. It was a mom filming herself cleaning her house using a checklist she had made. And as she was cleaning, she was physically checking off each box. But what really caught my attention was that it didn't just have chores. It had things like drink water and take a break right alongside the other chores like wipe counters and fold laundry. And that's what hit me. Because if you have ADHD or just mom brain, you know how easy it can be to forget simple things like eating or drinking or reminding yourself to just sit down and take a breather. So those tiny reminders weren't just cute, they were strategic. So out of curiosity, I clicked the link in her bio and it took me to her Etsy shop. That same cleaning checklist she was using in the video had a bestseller badge. And I remember staring at that badge and thinking, hold up, this is only 5 pages. That's it. Right then, I knew I could create my own version, not by copying hers, but by expanding on the idea. I wanted to design something that didn't just help people clean their home, but it also helped them manage their energy, their mindset, and their motivation while doing it. So I opened Canva and the ADHD Cleaning Bundle was born. A collection of 30 plus pages that helps you clean your house room by room and keeps you motivated along the way. And I'm not a graphic designer, so it wasn't perfect, but it worked. And that's because it solved a real problem. And I've noticed that is the part most beginners miss. You don't have to come up with the most original idea. You just have to create something that genuinely makes someone's life easier. So here's where I see a lot of beginners mess up. And honestly, this is where I could have messed up too. When I saw that mom's cleaning checklist with the bestseller badge, my first instinct was to think, okay, cool. I can just make mine like this. But that is the biggest mistake you can make on Etsy. Because if someone is already crushing it with their product, it has the bestseller badge, and your brand new shop makes an identical version, why would a customer choose yours over theirs? They have hundreds of reviews, you have 0. They have an established shop, yours is brand new. Even if your product is cheaper, customers may not feel like it's worth the risk. So instead, I asked myself 2 questions. How can I make this better? How can I make this different? Now, to make it better, I saw that her checklist was 5 pages and it was $18. Mine became over 30 pages and it was around $8, which was similar to the other cleaning checklists that were on Etsy. I also included things that she didn't. Mine had a 30-day challenge, room by room checklists, a supply inventory sheet, and tiny motivational reminders and hacks throughout. So those might sound small, but they are incredibly helpful for my target audience of busy moms with ADHD who are easily distracted. Now, to make it different, I decided to niche mine down. So hers was already niched. It was an ADHD checklist. So I decided to stay within that niche and just build upon it. So instead of creating a regular cleaning checklist like you see all over the place, we niched ours down to ADHD cleaning checklists. And a lot of people don't want to niche because they feel like it makes their audience smaller. But what you don't understand is that whenever you make your product specific, that person feels like your product was created just for them. When you try to serve everyone, you serve no one. But when you serve a specific group really well, they become your biggest fans. Now, this strategy works because I wasn't competing with her ADHD cleaning checklist anymore. I was in my own lane. Someone looking for a simple ADHD cleaning checklist could have chose hers, but someone looking for an ADHD cleaning bundle with all of the extra perks would choose mine. And here's the thing. This approach works for any product on Etsy. If you see a best-selling birthday invitation, you can make yours better by adding a matching thank you card and RSVP cards. You can make it different by focusing on a specific age group or a specific theme. If you see a budget planner selling well, you can make yours better by adding savings challenges or debt payoff trackers. You can make it different by niching down to families or college students. That is the difference between a product that gets lost in the crowd and one that becomes a best seller. Now let's talk about listing photos because these are the real money makers. Your first listing photo image is the most important one. And most beginners do not get this part right. They spend all of their time designing cute products, but when it comes to their first listing photo, they forget to show the value. And that is the difference between getting clicks and getting crickets. Your first photo has one job: to clearly communicate the problem your product solves for the customer. No one is buying a principle. They buy peace of mind. They buy organization. They buy the feeling of this is going to make my life easier. So your first image needs to say that instantly without needing a caption or a description. My first photo was clean, bold, and easy to read with no clutter, no props, no distractions. It showed exactly what the product was: a bundle of 30 plus cleaning checklists you can print, customize, or use digitally. Right away, you could tell it wasn't just another cute planner. It was a solution for keeping your house clean without getting overwhelmed. That is what I was selling. If your product value isn't obvious within 1 second of someone seeing it, they are going to keep scrolling. And if they don't stop and click on that first listing photo, they are not going to see what's included in the rest of your product. So before you upload another product, ask yourself this question: does my first photo show the transformation or just the template? And even if you're selling something like invitations where it doesn't feel like there's a transformation, there actually is. If I'm shopping for a unicorn birthday invitation, I'm not just buying a template. I'm buying a solution to the problem of, I need a cute invitation to send to friends and family, but I have zero design skills and I don't have time to wait for shipping. Your product solves that instantly. You are giving them an easy, affordable, done-for-you option that makes them feel prepared with ease. That's the real transformation. So whether it's a planner, a birthday invite, or even a business card, your first photo should say, here's how your life just got easier. Once you've nailed that first listing photo, every image after that has one goal: to build trust and make the buyers think, this is exactly what I need. People do not like surprises when they are spending money. They want to know exactly what they are paying for. So I made sure each listing photo had clear images of the product and short headlines like "done for you cleaning schedules" or "room by room cleaning checklist." The customer needs to know what it is, how it fits into their life, and why it's worth it. It's not about showing every page. It's about showing enough for them to think, wow, this product is worth way more than $4 or whatever your price is. And that's why I added an entire phase in the sales sprint that shows you how to make these really good scroll-stopping, money-making listing photos, because they're super important. If people do not click on your listing photos, they won't buy your product. So we have to master the art of making really good listing photos if you want to make sales. Now, before we dive into the SEO strategy, let's talk about something that easily doubled, tripled, or even quadrupled my sales, and that was adding a bonus. On Etsy, most people are comparing the value, not the price. And adding a bonus is one of the best ways to add more value to your product without lowering your price. For my ADHD cleaning bundle, I added a bonus productivity power pack. And that small detail completely changed how customers felt about my offer. Now, here's why it works. When someone is shopping on Etsy, they have a problem, but they are not fully convinced that your product will solve it. The bonus bridges that gap. It does 3 powerful things psychologically. First, it turns hesitation into trust. When buyers see that you're giving them something extra, without charging them more money, it signals generosity. It tells them, this seller actually wants to help me. And when people feel like you care about their success, they start trusting your brand instantly. Number 2, it reframes your product as a complete solution, not just a digital file. So in my case, the ADHD cleaning bundle already solved the problem of what do I clean? But the productivity power pack solved the problem of how do I stay consistent? That combination made it feel like a full transformation instead of just a product. So it was the difference between saying, here's a gym membership versus here's a full health program, the gym, the meal plan, and the accountability. One sounds like work, and the other sounds like the total package. And the third reason adding a bonus works is because it triggers the I'm getting a deal feeling. There's a reason why we love seeing the words bundle or bonus, and it's because it activates the brain's reward center. We instantly feel like we're getting more value than we paid for. So instead of thinking, I'm spending $4.35 on a PDF, the buyer starts thinking, I'm getting a complete productivity system for just $4 that'll help me stay focused, motivated, and I can keep my house clean. That is a totally different buying experience. And the best part is, adding a bonus doesn't just increase your sales, it increases your perceived brand value. When someone gets your product and realize how thoughtful it is, they're far more likely to leave a 5-star review, favorite your shop, and come back to buy from you again and again. So if you're thinking, okay, how do I do this for my shop? Here's the golden rule. Your bonus should make your main product easier, faster, or more fun to use. If you sell editable invitations, your bonus could be a short Canva tutorial for beginners. If you sell digital planners, your bonus could be a bundle of digital stickers. You're not adding extra stuff. You're removing friction, which are the things that cause buyers to pause and hesitate. So whenever you add in a bonus, you're not just selling a product, you are selling a result. So now let's get into the part that made this product sell without social media, and that's SEO, or search engine optimization. When I tell people that this product made me over $13,000 without ads or social media, for one, they just automatically assume I'm lying, or they just want to know, how the heck did people find it? And the answer is simple. Etsy search. Etsy works like Google. People go there with the problem and they type in exactly what they're looking for. So my goal wasn't to go viral. It was to show up in search results with the solution to their problem. Now, here is what that looked like for my ADHD cleaning bundle. My top keywords were things like cleaning schedule, ADHD cleaning checklist, adult chore chart, and cleaning planner. These are high intent keywords. That just means people are typing them in looking for a solution. And I made sure I used those words in my title, my tags, and my product description. Over time, Etsy's algorithm started collecting data. Every click, favorite, and purchase told Etsy that people were liking this product. And that is how you move up in search results. Not by tricks or hacks, but by optimizing what is already working. And the analytics proved it. 57% of my traffic came from Etsy apps and other pages. That's things like being featured in Editor's Pick, favorites, or category pages. 21% came directly from Etsy search. That means thousands of people found my product simply by searching things like cleaning schedule, cleaning checklist, or adult chore chart. 15% of my traffic came from direct or other traffic. meaning that people found my product somewhere on the internet and decided to buy it. 5% came from Etsy marketing and SEO. These are things like Etsy's promotional emails or homepage suggestions. And less than 1% came from social media or Etsy ads. And I know for a fact that one day someone shared my product on Facebook because I had a $350 day and it all came from Facebook. And I wasn't sharing my product there. So whenever you make a really good product, people will share it and promote it for you. So that's over 43,000 visits, completely organic. So the lesson here is simple. You don't need to post on social media every day to make sales. You need to learn how to speak Etsy's language, and that language is keywords. If you can figure out what your ideal customer is already searching for, and you put those keywords in your titles, tags, and descriptions, Etsy is going to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why I always tell my students, you don't need followers. You need to show up in search results. And once Etsy starts showing your products to the right people, that's when you start making sales every single day. Now, I want to be really transparent because even though this product did make me over $13,000, there were a few mistakes I made along the way that cost me probably hundreds or thousands in sales. And I see a lot of beginners repeating these same mistakes, so I want to save you the frustration. Mistake number 1 was thinking my income would stay the same without any effort. So my Etsy shop was doing really well. I was making about $3,000 per month. So I thought, okay, great, this is passive income. And I did what any rational human would do at that time. I just completely neglected it. I took really long breaks, and at one point, I completely neglected my Etsy shop to start a Shopify store. And I did that because everyone online kept telling me, you'll make more money on Shopify than you do on Etsy. But the problem with that is Shopify does not give you traffic. So I had to find my own traffic. And the other problem with that was when you are a homeschooling stay-at-home mom with limited time and limited energy, trying to post on TikTok 3 to 5 times a day is just completely absurd. So while Etsy was giving me free traffic every single day, Shopify was just sitting there. And I was paying $29 a month for Shopify, whether I made sales or not. So luckily, one of my TikTok videos I made went viral, and I ended up making $200 in my Shopify store, which sounds great, but my Etsy shop that I was completely neglecting still made over $1,000. So the lesson here is simple. Do not walk away from what is already working. So this means when you start making money on Etsy, don't start a second shop, which is going to take your energy away from your first shop that's making money. This could also mean if you are making money on Etsy, don't start posting on TikTok and Pinterest and doing things that are not directly tied to making money with your Etsy shop you already have. Just keep building on what's working. Even just updating your keywords, changing a listing photo, or adding a new product can keep the momentum going. Mistake number 2 was not updating my bestseller. When I first released the ADHD cleaning bundle, it was hands down the best option available on Etsy. But over time, new sellers came in with fresh, updated versions. They had checklists that included cleaning cards, they had spreadsheet trackers, and more template options. And since I've been so busy with YouTube and helping my students make their first sale, I just haven't been able to go in and update my cleaning bundle. So now my once best-selling product is just sitting there because there are so many better options available. Now, if I wanted to revive it, I could simply just add more features for the same price. So if you already have a product that's doing well, don't just move on. Keep improving it and adding different variations. You don't always need more listings. Sometimes you just need to make the listings you have better. And then mistake number 3 was waiting too long to expand on a winning product. One thing I eventually did right, but I wish I did it sooner, was build around my original product. The first version was a boho theme. So I ended up making a pastel version for the people who like soft muted colors. Then I created complementary products that solved related problems. These are things like a time blocking template, a meal planning bundle, a budget tracker. All of these are in the same boho aesthetic. And they were also all ADHD friendly. So whenever you have a product that's selling well, build an ecosystem around it. Different versions, matching designs, or large bundles that create more value. My advice is to help your current customers solve a different yet related problem. That way, you're not constantly chasing new views. You're nurturing repeat buyers. And considering that 40% of Etsy customers are repeat buyers, this is one of the smartest ways to grow your income. So now let's zoom out for a second, because when you really look at it, there's nothing flashy about this product. It's simply a cleaning checklist. But it became a bestseller because every part of the listing worked together, strategically and emotionally. And that combination is what made the buyer feel like this is exactly what I need. So here's what made it a success. Number one, it solved a clear, specific problem they were already searching for. I didn't chase trends or guess what was selling. I looked at what people were already interacting with: cleaning schedules, ADHD content, chore charts. Then I created a product that directly solved that problem. That's the first rule of a bestseller. Don't try to convince someone that they need your product. Just show up with what they're already looking for, but make it better. Number two, it was designed to be helpful, not just look cute. I didn't design this to win a Pinterest award. I designed this to help someone who's feeling overwhelmed finally feel capable. The layout, the structure, the motivational reminders, everything was built around how the customer would feel when they use this product. And that's why it connected. Because people don't just buy the prettiest product. They buy the one that feels like it was made just for them. The third reason this worked is because it communicated value instantly. Buyers didn't have to wonder what they were getting. They knew. And that is what makes someone click add to cart. Number four, it used a strategic bonus to increase perceived value. And this was a big one. The free productivity power pack wasn't random. It was psychological. It made buyers feel like they were getting an entire solution instead of a bundle of random checklists. And that is what makes a listing stand out in a crowded market. And the fifth reason is because it was optimized to be found. All the strategy in the world doesn't matter if people can't find your product. That's why SEO was key. I used specific high intent keywords in my title, my tags, and my description, the same ones people were already searching for on Etsy. Once Etsy saw consistent clicks and sales, the algorithm did the rest. It pushed my product higher up in search results and started sending me free daily traffic with no ads required. And this product continues to make sales years after I created it. And that's what I want you to understand. Your Etsy listings can become digital assets. When you build them strategically, they keep working for you long after you've moved on to something else. And if you want to see my exact strategy for getting Etsy to promote my products for me, I show you everything step by step in the sales sprint. So if you take nothing else from this video, take this. A bestseller isn't about luck or a perfect design. It's about understanding people. You're not just selling a PDF or a template link. You're selling a feeling. And when your listing speaks to both logic and emotion, that's when Etsy starts sending you traffic on autopilot, and that's when the sales start stacking up. And once you've got your shop set up, the next question becomes, what product should I sell? That's exactly what I'm breaking down in this next video. I'll walk you through how to spot trending niches, how to validate your ideas before creating anything, and start with a product that's actually built to sell. Because if one $4 product can change everything for me, imagine what the right idea could do for you. So I'll see you in the next video.